Hello everyone. Today I'm going to read from the book of Genesis chapter 39 verse 1 and 2, and it talks about the story of Joseph. It says in verse 1 that in 39:1, now Joseph had been taken down to Egypt. Potiphar, an Egyptian who was one of Pharaoh's officials, the captain of the guard, bought him from the Ishmaelites who had taken him there. Verse 2, the Lord was with Joseph so that he prospered, and he lived in the house of his Egyptian master. You remember the story of Joseph. His brother sold him because of the vision he had received from the Lord. The Lord gave Joseph a vision that showed that his brothers and his parents would one day bow down to him. And this vision made his brothers very envious of him. They hated him because of this vision. So one day they decided to kill him. They wanted to kill Joseph, but then along the way they changed their mind and decided to sell Joseph to the Ishmaelites who were going to Egypt. So they sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites, and the Ishmaelites went to Egypt and they sold him to one of the Pharaoh's officials called Potiphar. So when they sold him there, the Bible says in verse 2 that the Lord was with Joseph so that he prospered and he lived in the house of his Egyptian master. One thing that impresses me about this story is that even though Joseph was sold as a slave, even though he was sold in a foreign land, a land where people used to worship other idols, the Bible says that the Lord was with Joseph. Even when he was sold as a slave, the Lord was with Joseph. Even after all the tribulations he was going through in that land, even after all the difficulties he was going through in that land, the Bible says the Lord was with Joseph. Everything that Joseph did, the Bible says the Lord was with him, that he prospered. Joseph prospered in his ways. Why? Because the Lord was with him. He came from a slave to becoming a prime minister. Why? Because the Lord was with Joseph. So one thing that impresses me in this story is that the Lord was with Joseph. How blessed is it to walk together with God? The Lord was with Joseph and he made him prosper. So if you want to prosper in your life, walk together with God. Don't let God aside. Invite him in all your ways and he will make you prosper. Joseph prospered because the Lord was with him. So today, let us remember that the Lord was with Joseph and